Hi people.
Hello.
So here we are because here we are. So today's topic is living off the grid, and we thought maybe we could discuss this. You are away from the mic, and then you will complain that मेरी आवाज़ नहीं आ रही थी.
Mic check again.
फिर माइक गिरेगा. खसको ना उधर खसक के बैठो.
I was comfy. Huh.
Anyways, coming back. So today's topic is living off the grid, and we are counting thoughts for people who are new. This is a podcast where we discuss random and not so random thoughts. All this to bring change one thought at a time. Welcome.
She's Yasha and I'm Anmol.
And welcome back to the user. I don't know why she does this. I am speaking and she has to cut me.
I was like Yasha Anmol, Yasha Anmol, Yasha Anmol, Yasha Anmol.
I was saying welcome back to the people who have been listening to us, and welcome to the ones who are new. This was something that I was trying to say. And yes, I am Yasha and this is Anmol. People who are watching us on YouTube must be wondering what is wrong with these girls because they're not stable at one location. Trust me when I say this, we're trying to figure out the logistics of the location. So I'm hoping that you'll excuse that. So coming back to the topic, living off the grid, where do you stand on that?
I firmly believe we should do that because I myself find the 20% introvert in me sometimes want to live off the grid because and this is something that has been happening with me because we are all professionally we are on social media like LinkedIn so to speak, and personally also I am an extrovert, and usually everyone in today's world is using Twitter or WhatsApp or Instagram, Snapchat, something. Like, so a lot of that is why even in our phones now there's this thing like your screen time is this and your screen time is this. So we are all somehow...
I'm a OnePlus user, so there is a thing called Zen Mode.
Yeah.
So you basically, if you switch on Zen Mode, so it starts playing, you can switch on and off between the music, but then it sort of plays like forest sounds and rain sounds and stuff like that. And you can, I have my Zen Mode is for 20 minutes. So as soon as I switch on Zen Mode, I get nothing, no notification, no call, no nothing. It just gets muted, and when the Zen Mode gets over, then I'm able to see those calls.
And what if, like, this is out of curiosity, what if there's an emergency call that you have to take?
Then you find a way to reach me. It's just 20 minutes. The world, I used to think a lot because I think that is so the kind of world that we live in right now. Staying connected and being connected is something that has become more of a necessity. It's a requirement as of now because no matter how big you are, you will have you cannot be off the grid. Say suppose even if say Shah Rukh Khan is a very big name, right? He's a celebrity, so it's not the case that he can remain off the grid. He will have some online presence, be it Twitter, be it Instagram, be it anything.
Especially when you are some sort of
a celebrity. Even if you're not a celebrity, say suppose
not just the people who are acting, but also some people like the authors or especially someone who's doing a let's say online show.
There are NGOs that are online.
Yeah.
And they have an online presence. Even an NGO that the business that we have together, it's basically consulting. Even we are supposed to have an online presence. So basically,
the entire world is digitized,
and that sort of leads to being connected through some online platform or the other, so that people can reach you. Because I think it was I mean, it was meant to happen. COVID sort of acted like a catalyst, and everything sort of went online very fast, right?
Yeah.
So we had no idea. I personally had no idea what Zoom calls were and what Google
Skype calls.
No, I knew what Skype calls were. I was pretty much, I was aware.
The usage in our day-to-day life was
has increased drastically. I mean, I think by 10 folds it has increased.
for sure.
Because
Every day I am definitely on
a Google call or
a video call.
Yeah, so either it could be Skype or it could be Google Meet or anything.
Yeah.
So, what I'm trying to say is that the necessity to stay in touch has increased. So, it has, and not just personally. Initially, it was a choice. So, having an Instagram account initially,
It was a choice.
it was a choice. Now it has become a necessity, because even if you are going to reach a client online, they would say, maybe share a link with me.
Or let's connect on
let's
social
connect
media.
on so and so platform. And so the platform that you choose to connect on will vary depending on what field you come from. But there will be a social media platform that will be there.
And it has its own perks. I'm not saying it
It does not. Yes, it does. It has. I mean,
perks to stay
we
connected
we are working with international clients without meeting them. All our interactions are limited to a Zoom call, maybe a WhatsApp call at max.
While it gives you exposure, it is very difficult to stay off the grid, because I tried doing that for a week.
It blurs.
It blurs the line.
It has, so this connectivity, this need to stay connected has blurred the lines, which brings me to what I was saying, answering your question. It's just 20 minutes. So initially I had like a timer of 20 minutes on my Instagram as well. And sometimes I would not even reach that. Like, I would not scroll Instagram mindlessly. I had 20 minutes because I think that was all that was required, because I was helping a friend with his content. So
The written part of it.
Yeah, sometimes pictures as well. So that's irrelevant. So 20 minutes is what I required, and that was it. I was not mindlessly scrolling on Instagram. But now what has happened is that I have to that there is the Instagram for
There are business accounts and professional accounts also on Instagram. So you have to.
I have 3 business accounts as of now on my phone, and like 20 minutes does not suffice.
It does not, because there are a lot of things you need to inculcate.
Yes.
While you're on your professional business account, and even on your personal account. Because I sometimes, a lot of times, there's a daily time period when I'm doing mindless scrolling, which
I try not to, honestly.
You can really try not to, and I tried not to, but then I realized, like my friends and my nephew. So I miss his updates, and I'm like, oh shit, this is not working out. The entire family is getting updates, but I'm not able to get the update. And and they're like, dude, it's like online. You just like manage it.
I think the one very big part of people being reluctant about a digital detox or living off the grid is
The
FOMO.
disconnect you get from your
The
family.
fear of missing out.
No, it is the disconnect. I don't want to stay disconnected to my family. I want to stay connected to them.
That is what I'm saying. So there is this fear of missing out on the updates. Of the nephew.
Yeah, so now what I do is, instead of opening it, I have decided one time, towards the night, when I'm done with everything, I'm free. Then for like half an hour, I'm like, okay, now I will see all the pictures that have been sent across, and now I will see everything. So there is actually...
You're trying to manage it.
I'm trying to manage the intensity of it.
The gravity of it, yes.
Gravity.
So for people who... I am sure there isn't anybody, but then for people who are new, I'd say that not new, for people who are not aware what a digital detox is. Basically,
Digital detox.
a digital detox is a period of time when a person voluntarily refrains from using digital devices such as smartphones, computers, and social media platforms. So, generally, this period would last anywhere between 30 days to 7 days. But I have a friend, she suggested with doing 1 day, because I came across a concept called a dopamine detox. This is not in the script, but then, like, because I
Go ahead. Listening.
so why? Because it sort of releases this hormone called dopamine when you scroll through the internet, and it sort of gives you a feel-good factor,
Momentarily, temporarily.
So
but
it's like a rush, like something that you would get after using some sort of drug or something. So it's like that. You are because you are artificially inducing that. What do? You get bored, you open social media, whatever platform you prefer, even LinkedIn for that matter. I mean, I'm not just blaming Instagram. People mindlessly open LinkedIn and, I don't know, start scrolling over on LinkedIn and checking out people.
I am people.
So basically what happens is that you get bored, and you as a reaction you start using social media. What happens is that boredom is necessary. Studies have proven that boredom is necessary, because when you get bored, you are forced to sit with yourself, and then your mind tries to find ways to entertain you.
Yeah.
Right? So that entertainment, instead of it coming from an outside factor, it comes from you. So either you would learn a skill, practice a skill, or learn something new, or if nothing else, you will try and make conversation with somebody around you. I mean, you get dopamine, you get a rush of dopamine as soon as you open whatever platform you open, or whatever reasons you choose to stay on LinkedIn. You stay on LinkedIn, or I mean, I'm just not naming names. I'm just saying that you choose to stay on a platform for whatever reason. My excuse these days to stay on Instagram is that I have to find motivation, or I have to find, inspiration for reels that go on the podcast platform.
I am somehow hungry for knowledge. It's easier to get constant news updates with regard to XYZ things that you want to research about that day. So I feel that it's quicker.
Whatever excuse you have,
Yeah.
have. Like, I have mine, she has hers,
Yeah.
and maybe you have yours. But then talking about the dopamine, so I read about this, and I spoke to a friend, and she said that why don't you, because she went on a dopamine detox for 11 days, if I'm not wrong. So she went to an ashram and did yoga. And
nice.
And I think there was a 3-day fasting. I mean, fast as in not fasting. You don't speak, so that sort of fasting. So
Sort of a meditation area.
it falls under a meditation category. So that happened, and I discussed it with her. So I did it for 1 day. For the initial, from experience, it's difficult for the first 3-4 hours, and then you sort of don't feel the need.
I think it's the other way around for me, because when I tried a partial one. I had to set proper ground rules. So I did not open my WhatsApp, and then I did not operate Instagram at all. Only my professional account was logged in. I used to just check my professional account. Professionally, I was there on LinkedIn. Professionally, I was there on the platforms where using social media was a professional requirement. Living off the grids, I actually planned my time of the year when I'm going to do that again. Living off the grid thing was something that I did for a week, and it helped. Like, only that thing alone helped me a lot.
Because she has done it partially. I have done it completely. I think I've done it thrice. I said through period time, but I find it easier to go on a digital detox while I'm living alone. When I'm living around people, I sort of don't want to do it. This is
Why?
Because it's like a curtain I have, like you behind that curtain and me on this side of the curtain.
It's actually the opposite for me, because I'm like, because I'm not using digital media, I would want people in person with me.
I did that digital detox. I also did, like, I thought I'd eat proper.
I by proper, do you mean the consumption, or by proper you mean the timing of the meals?
Everything. So I had proper meals, proper proportions. I had like fruits, salads, and stuff like that. Things that I enjoy. People find it very boring. I enjoy.
Okay.
And then I did not even have coffee, which is a very big,
Which is a very big thing. It's like
humongous. So yeah, that
she loves coffee.
I do. I have partial coffee running in my veins. There are some detox hacks that you have, I think you read somewhere or not. So you could probably turn off social media notifications, which are turned off when it comes to my...
I have permanently turned off social media notification apart from WhatsApp.
Yes, same. Yes. WhatsApp also, I don't think I have everything turned on. Like few, if something is very annoying, I mute it for a year.
Yeah, my notification is turned on to get the family group calls.
Okay. So people say that deleting social media apps...
this works like a miracle. Trust me.
I somehow don't feel the necessity to do it, but then I've heard that
like for a few people who thinks like off, like...
Because I have apps in my phone which I don't generally use.
Out of sight, out of mind. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a thing called time boxing. So basically, what you do is this is something that I practice, and in this, and Anmol looks at my calendar and she's like, how are you doing? I haven't been doing time boxing for June. I think I haven't since June. I am getting back on it. I mean, slowly, gradually. I think for some people, what happens is that time first, like talking about time boxing.
I don't know what time boxing exactly is.
So basically, it's exactly Sandhi Vichhed agar kare.
Hanji.
So time box. So you create a box of time. So say suppose 2 to 3 is my time to do this. 4 to 5 is my time to do this. 6 to 7 is my time to do this. So basically you create a time schedule. So there are so the only problem with time boxing is that generally people say that you should box your time in
45 minutes span, because that's the 100% the concentration breaks after 45 minutes span.
But what I believe is that, so say suppose if I have Korean lessons and I say that I will take Korean lessons for 45 minutes, what generally happens is life tends to happen, and say suppose I get a call, or there is the garbage man, or there is the milkman, or there is somebody at the door. And then I come back and I have how my brain functions is that, oh my god, I had 45 minutes and I wasted 10 minutes on with the or whatever task at hand. And then, oh shit. So then I get demotivated, and then I sort of waste the 35 minutes that I have at hand. So how I have figured out, because I've done it, like I think I've been doing it for a year and a half now. So what I do is I batch my time like in bigger slots. So say suppose initially I was studying Korean for 2 hours, 1 hour grammar and 1 hour vocab. Off late I've realized that it is not going to be enough if I have to qualify the bloody exam. I have
She's going to give.
I have to study more. Plus I've been slacking with the book coming out and everything else. So I was slacking also. I had to travel and life happened. what I've decided is that I've batched my time into bigger slots, because I'm also aware that 45 minutes is the maximum of my attention span. What I do is I get up. I get up and pee, fill my water bottle. I get up and probably stretch, because I'm on the laptop, like neck rotations or wrist rotations, because I'm typing. I don't want to get cramps on my wrists. Very religiously. That's my break. So as soon as I change my scenery for 5 minutes, when I get back, I sort of trick my brain into believing that, okay, this is I took a break, now 45 minutes begin again. Forest is an app that I would recommend a lot of people to use, because it sort of has helped it enhance the whole time batching.
And it's a two-way street. Like if you eventually they will help somehow.
So tree. They will actually help you plant a tree.
So it's actually you are saving your time and helping in plantation of tree. And I think it's the idea, whoever created this application.
Amen to your soul.
Like salute to you. Like,
so basically that is what time boxing is. You can Google what time boxing is if you are interested in the idea.
It's also recommended that if you're going to go off the grid, try to do it with someone, a friend or someone, so that it somehow acts like a motivator, that okay, I'll do it with you.
Yes, and while you do it, I think the best, because I have done it to myself, like I would beat myself down that I wasted 10 minutes and 35 minutes. I would waste 35 minutes. Or what I would do is that I would tell myself that I will start at 9. I will start my lesson at 9, or I will start my lesson at 9:30. But there is no rule at starting my lesson at 9:40. I had classes going on, like online classes, like join the class 10 minutes late. At max, somebody would ask me for an explanation, which I would give. But generally 9 out of 10 times, nobody would ask for an explanation unless I'm extremely late or it's a test that I'm late to. No, I was never asked for an explanation. So I decided that if you do decide to do this, the time boxing or the getting off the grid or anything of that sort, you should first and the foremost be gentle with yourself. You cannot, being gentle with yourself,
it's very necessary.
Is necessary, but at the same time you need to understand that there is a line between being gentle with yourself and allowing yourself to slack. So call yourself out if you're slacking, but then at the same time be gentle with yourself. You cannot be,
because if you're living off the grid and you keep on beating yourself up about it, then the purpose of
the
it
whole
is lost.
It's sort of, it loses its purpose. And I think you can make it fun. I mean, your definition of fun could be anything. Like I initially what I would do is I would not. I'm
like,
I
whatever
have a huge, massive sleep.
It's good.
So I would treat myself. Let's stick to it.
Yeah.
So there are these hacks. There are other hacks, like she did the research. So maybe you can redesign your lock screen and you can put a wallpaper that says what for, why now, and what else. My lock screen is a library, basically because I have an affinity towards libraries. But my home screen is a collage that I made of, it's like a shopping list that I have, and I told myself that, okay, let's go on a virtual shopping list and make a virtual shopping list, and what would you want? So I have things like places I would like to travel, things I want in life, shoes, watches, whatever. You are so mindlessly looking at your phone that everything, it gets stored in your subconscious. So I thought, like, if I am going to mindlessly look at my bloody phone, then might as well use it
for something good.
Subconsciously,
because it is reminding you.
Yeah, so that's
and then I copy pasted like, Yasha, good idea. Then I saw a home screen and I was like, okay, this is something.
She asked me, I explained to her.
I actually asked her.
Initially it is embarrassing because
if someone else opens your phone, they're like,
and
what is this?
Nobody talks about this. Like there are YouTubers talking about you should have like a manifestation journal on your phone. You have your vision board on the phone. But what they don't tell you that there is like for 15 days, if somebody picks up your phone and looks at your home screen or your lock screen, wherever you decide to put that wallpaper on, it is mildly embarrassing.
I don't feel embarrassed. I feel judged mildly, irrespective. But then there's this look.
Yeah, so that look, it takes time for you to get used to that look. But then once you're okay with it, then you're like, screw it. Like, have a look. Make your own shopping list if you want.
You can put it on your lock screen if you are not, if you're that confident, I would say.
I like, so I don't think many people, it's a little messy, I mean, for people who can see. It is a little messy and it is a little clogged. It feels a little clogged. I think your lock screen should be something that brings you joy.
Yeah.
And then your home screen could be anything. I mean, this is just a suggestion. I mean, we're not saying that you should do it. It's just a suggestion. Coming back, think of your attention as a valuable resource. I'm forgetting the name of the actor. I will link the TED Talk. He gave a TED Talk about attention. It's a wonderful TED Talk that talks about social media and he said one very specific line that stuck out to me was that social media is free. Like logging in, joining social media is free. How is social media making money? What are they selling? What are they buying? So he says that they are selling and buying your attention. And your time. So be very mindful as to
where you are putting in your time and attention, because it can affect, it is actually,
and we are saying this
psychologically, it is affecting.
It does. Unfollow anybody that does not bring you joy. Anybody who, I mute people if I see somebody who sort of gives me anxiety. Make sure that whatever you consume brings you joy, brings you peace, does not harm your sanity in any way or the other.
It's not like success could look different on different people, and I think everyone is realizing that, because that is why, like this research also say that there is an option to set, or there are applications that will set limit to your.
I was actually I was actually thinking of looking something.
I tried it once.
So I'll make sure that Anmol has that on her phone, because what happens?
It literally locks your application.
So okay, there's that.
If you are utilizing, this is something we were talking about before we were beginning. Yasha has this actual clock.
An alarm clock.
Clock. If you use that, because
I'm an analog. I'm a millennial. I'm supposed to be an analog person. I'm analog all the way. Anyways.
Apart from this, you can create a folder on your home screen and bifurcate the application. This is something I have personally done, and I have actually stopped mindlessly opening applications, because when it is scattered all over the screen, you're like, oh, ye bhi dekh lo, oh, look into this also, sort of temporarily blocks the social media reach.
I think it adds a step. We have become so freaking lazy. Adding one tiny step
is going to save so much time, because sometimes, let's say you picked up a call, there was a delivery at your home. So you picked up the call, ki acha delivery ho gaya hai, and then you keep it down. No, you don't keep it down. Delivery ho gaya hai, OTP dekh liya hai, then you start checking the notifications instead of going back and doing your work. But when you create folders, what happens is, okay, delivery ho gaya hai, your home screen is still empty. So I wouldn't at least go and open the folder and then check the notification. I'm like, okay, delivery ho gaya, I'll keep the phone back.
Generally, my home screen is empty. I have a music app. I'm a YouTube premium person, so I don't.
Shout out to YouTube. I'm a Spotify person.
Shout out to Spotify. I'm a YouTube premium person, so I will, whatever mindless scrolling, whatever mindless music I will listen to, it's on YouTube. But I don't have YouTube on my home screen. I have one music app that I downloaded, but I have a pre-recorded song. It's not in Hindi, it's in Korean. I found it on, I was trying to look for
something,
so I came across that song. So So it has just, the whole application has one song that I put on timer for 20 minutes when I sleep. And I am not that far along in the Korean learning world that I can understand what the person is saying, but then they are,
It somehow is soothing to you?
it somehow is soothing to me, so I sleep to it. Apart from that, there is Forest on my home screen, there is Duolingo, and there is Me Home, which is an application that gives me direct access to my study lamp. If you're trying to get up early, I have like a smart lamp.
Smart lamp, it's beside your bed.
Yes. So what basically happens is, along with my alarm,
The light will switch on.
the light switches on.
And Yasha cannot sleep with light on.
So that has helped me a lot. So a hack for people who can.
Who cannot sleep with light on.
So these are the 4 applications on my phone. I do end up using Instagram or WhatsApp. Initially, WhatsApp was on my phone because a lot of communication, personal and professional communications, happen through WhatsApp. So it was open on my, and I would just open it randomly. And I was like, what the,
What is this? What am I doing?
what is happening?
No, because this is somehow a habit of everyone now. It has actually inculcated in our routine. So why we are vouching that you should go on a social media detox, or why is it necessary? Because if we ask you that when was the last time you went on a social media detox, was there an entire day when you did not use any sort of digital gadget? I think it will be very difficult for anyone of us to remember that.
I think it eases you a lot around your gadgets also, because one day I had to stay with Anmol for 2 days, I think two days, unplanned, and I was not carrying my phone charger with me, and my phone ran out of battery, and I was not worried that it ran out of battery. Had it been the me from a year and a half ago, I would have been anxious. And I was like, I mean, my family knows that I'm with you. And
so if there is an emergency,
they'll call on more. Yeah. So I have become less anxious around my gadgets. I think when you do go on a digital detox, you end up having a little bit of self-realization and things you want to do. A lot of people preach that you should, like, when you go on a detox, you should do meditation, but the whole point of meditation is to be mindful of yourself. And if that experience of the digital detox or something like that can help you be mindful of yourself on a day-to-day basis, then why not?
Because we have stopped being mindful on day-to-day basis as well.
When they say be mindful,
subconsciously.
Yeah, when they say be mindful would mean that if you're doing the dishes, be mindful of whether you're doing the dishes properly or not. When they say be mindful of the fact that, like, okay, I'm going to this room to do this. How many times has it happened that you go into a room and you forget, like, as to why you have come in?
Why you entered the room? Yes.
It's just.
Then I go back into the place and I'm like, okay, I wanted a scale. Then I come back again. I was looking for a scale.
Yes, that happens. I mean, one very major excuse, at least this is one excuse that I tell myself, is that why I am not going on a digital detox is that I am absorbing new information. I am evolving. In the name of evolution, I stay on my phone. I avoid the inevitable.
Or not able to.
I avoid the inevitable. I enjoy my time with Anmol because we chat.
Because usually we are off the phone.
We are off the phone. We don't touch the phone when we're together. And generally that is how I am with friends. I don't touch the phone when I...
My friends are practically not allowed to use phone when they're... Getting back to the topic, apart from the in-person thing, I think we need to lose the FOMO, the fear of missing out. We need to lose...
Mera to lost hai bhai.
Yasha is in full control. Unka FOMO lost.
I'm not in full control, I think.
So it allows your mind to get some rest and refocus your energy and your time and your brain.
Yes, वो होता है.
It 100% मैं vouch कर रही हूँ, your stress levels will diminish, because
If not completely, then partially.
it will diminish. I would say include your loved ones.
There
They will
are
help
people
you.
who are like all in, or jamini to kamini is what they say in Punjab. But you could start small, like you're gonna one day at a time, or few hours at a time, or 20 minutes at a
If you're
time.
really addicted, then maybe if ऐसे time बांध लो.
Phone. My Zen Mode on the phone begins at 2:30, and I've made my peace with the fact that if Anmol needs me, I am there on email, over Skype and everything. It's just that I don't touch my phone. It's a very conscious decision, because that is the time I'm free also, because I get up for lunch and I prepare lunch and have lunch. So that's sort of my lunch break.
Professionally, if you're not available or if you have to ask something, we know that as soon as she sees the notification, she's going to get back to us. Usually,
That's my
there's an hour, half an hour gap. At max.
At max, yes, at max. So I've come to realize that there is no fire. I mean, I think a very major part of this has to come from realizing, it has come from realizing that I am not at the epicenter of everything. I have to trust my team, and there is no fire that my team will not be able to put out without me. And if at all they need me, they know how to reach me. And if at all they cannot reach me, and only I can put off that fire, 20 minutes is not going to.
There's another alternate option that I have been thinking about, considering the entire family situation. I think a lot of us, at least my family, we have stopped using the landline. So I'm getting the landline installed back again, and I'm going to give the number only to very limited people.
My dad has a landline installed in the house, because it's a multi-storied building. So sometimes, you leave your phone on the bed, or he studies a lot, so he has heaps and heaps of books, and sometimes his phone tends to get lost in between the books. So we have a landline installed in the home, and that landline rings so loudly that
you will not be able to miss it.
It is impossible, not impossible. It is impossible to miss it.
I am sure everyone needs to live off the grid for a while. Your brain needs a break.
A little break, yes, you do.
And a little break is never bad.
Yes. So on that note, take care.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
And see you soon.